This is Bryson Gray, who I found out about from a video I saw of him on the Tim Poolcast. Let's see what he has to say. He apparently debated Hunter Avallone,
liberal YouTuber,
who has made an amazing journey of going from it's just a Hunter Avallone has made an amazing journey going from a right-wing conservative, like hardcore conservative teen, religious teen, to a liberal, straight down the center atheist, pretty much.
How this started is I posted a tweet with my hoodie that says "Make America Straight Again." It went viral, over 5 million views on the
Cock
tweet.
behavior.
And then he responded to it, irritated, and then instantly sent me a DM asking me to a debate on his YouTube channel. I said, LOL, okay, when? And then I went to go look up his debates and found out quickly that he's your typical liberal that interrupts somebody every time they speak and just curses a lot and just calls you names because they're so emotional in the conversation.
Wait. This is so typical right wingers. I might look up the debate. We're gonna skim the debate later. Okay, I'll give you that much. But this is typical right wing ideas where being wrong should just be allowed to stand without questioning. You should be allowed to say wrong things without being interrupted and corrected on your wrong ideas. That's how they think debates go. You know, they want a formalized debate where they have a moderator, an unbiased moderator, who allows them their 2 to 5 minutes of speech uninterrupted, and then the other person can respond to their gish gallop of wrongness and get to like 1/3 of the points. Instead, what we as leftists or liberals in Hunter Avallone's case want is whenever you say something wrong, we're going to pin you to it. We're not going to move off the point until we have exhausted the point that you've made. We're not going to allow you to gish gallop like fucking crazy so that you can say, ha, but you didn't answer this point. Because I answered like 150 other points and debunked them. Why would the 151st point be correct? But that's the sneaky thing they do.
And most people will be like, I don't want to debate him. But me, I thought it would be entertaining. So I said, let's do it.
And yeah, I'm sure I don't.
Bryson, why don't you go on to Vosh's channel and debate him? He would absolutely take you up on it. You've both been on Tim Poolcast. It's an equal showing then, okay?
I don't know if you know who I am. I know I reached out to you and let you know that I am a soy boy libcuck who is very pro LGBT. So this should be quite an interesting discussion, to say the least.
Yeah, I think you were triggered by my hoodie. The reason I'm doing this video is very simple. Liberals have this habit of thinking they won debates even if they didn't win any points and got all their points debunked.
See?
It really started when we got to the conversation about gay people adopting. Let's get into it.
Gay people do tend to adopt at higher rates as compared to heterosexual people, which is to be expected since they can't have kids themselves. And this is a benefit for all of society.
You said gay people adopt at higher rates. Now, this is going to offend you, and it's fine. I think that should be illegal off the rip. I don't care if they adopt at higher rates. They shouldn't be able to adopt, period. That should be illegal.
Look at the benefits from gay people adopting.
Wait. That's it? He cut off there?
Shouldn't be able to adopt, period. That should be illegal.
I want to see. Can I not see?
You said gay people adopt at higher rates. Now, this is going to offend you, and it's fine. I think that should be illegal off the rip. I don't care if they adopt at higher rates. They shouldn't be able to adopt, period. That should be illegal.
I'm trying to see if I can find out where in the video they are, so I can see what he cut out, but I can't, unfortunately.
Look at the benefits from gay people adopting.
Oh, maybe actually, because there are text here we can use. Okay, so I have the video here. Let's see if we can't. If I go here.
Rates as
and it's fine. I think that should be illegal off the rip. I don't care if they adopt a higher rate. They shouldn't be able to adopt, period. That should be illegal.
Look at the
Because you see here, see how much changes in the text.
about.
But this seems to be in early. Let's see here. This. Go back to Christian values. This seems to be about
out
right.
As being gay when it was
Wait.
heavily discouraged.
You have my microphone
Playback speed 2.
muted as you were talking. Hilarious. First off, look at the study, the amount of people that were bisexual in the study.
More people were hiding the fact that they were gay. So of course it seemed like there were less gay people.
Uh-huh.
Gay people existed since the beginning of time. There's gay activity even in animals.
Yeah, you say delusional, but no matter what numbers we look up to, more people identify. Less people identify as gay back then by a long shot.
Of course they were gay. Now environmentally it's more accepted. So more people who are gay are going to say that they're gay.
Mhm.
Yes, I agree with you. But it's not the environment making people gay or making people straight.
Yeah, and that's where we're going to disagree. We can get into that disagreement, but I want to hit some of your other points first. You say gay people adopt at higher rates. Now this is going to offend you, and it's fine.
Here we
That's
go.
illegal off the rip. I don't care if they adopt at higher rate. They shouldn't be able to adopt. Period. That should be illegal. And that's just simple. So it's not benefit to society at all.
It should be illegal for gay people to adopt. I'm sorry to cut you off. I just want to write this down.
Okay, y'all say they should adopt. It should be illegal. Write that down. Okay, very clear. Secondly, homosexuality, statistically speaking, is inherent.
Oh, okay. He just So Hunter Avallone didn't respond directly to it. He just wrote it down. So I can understand. I can accept the edit from Bryson on that point at least.
Gay people adopt at higher rates. Now this is going to offend you, and it's fine. I think that should be illegal off the rip. I don't care if they adopt at higher rate. They shouldn't be able to adopt. Period. That should be illegal.
Look at the benefits from gay people adopting. Do you know that kids?
Okay, so he goes to look at the benefits. Let's see here.
Inherently a net negative to society. Homosexuality, only negativity. Inherently is a net, obviously. Worse than that. Obviously, animals is not having to say, oh, people doing.
I'm just looking up the China rate. I can get back to that. So it should be illegal for gay people to adopt. I think that. Okay, so I'm gonna accept that you're probably pro-America, like you support the Constitution and whatnot. Are you like pro-American principles,
Oh,
or do you kind of disagree with some of the principles in the Constitution and whatnot?
Oh, no, like the Constitution, about the context surrounding it also. The context surrounding its entire country of its existence.
Okay, so outlawing gay people's ability to adopt simply on the basis of them being gay would be a violation of their 14th Amendment rights. So there's an equality clause in the Constitution that basically says that if you're going to treat one group of people a certain way, you need to do the best within your power to treat other groups of people that same way, so long as they're comparable enough. So because you have straight couples who adopt, you also have gay couples who want to adopt. You can't just say, no, because you're gay, you can't adopt. So when you say you want to illegal or outlaw gay adoption, not only are you talking about violating the Constitution and you are speaking against American principles, even more so, look at the benefits from gay people adopting. Do you know that kids who are adopted by gay people fare just as well as kids raised by straight parents? Did you know that?
Oh, you have to ask me a question?
Yeah, I'm asking, did you know that kids who are adopted by gay parents do just as well, if not better in some circumstances, compared to kids
Yep.
raised by straight parents?
True.
Not morally, no.
So what do you mean not morally?
Yeah, like I said before, if you look up when gay people adopt those kids, there's multiple studies, and I mean, we can question the validity of these studies. I was at my house, I put these studies up, and at this point, me talking, and you can say I made them up, so that's cool.
No, I know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Okay, well, there's multiple studies so that
Slow down. Okay, sorry. Let's go 1.5.
kids raised by LGBT people, and by the way, let me make this clear, it's not just gay people. I don't think people that are unmarried should be able to adopt, and things of that nature also. So like these kids grow
Okay, his worldview is people. He would rather see children suffer in groups of like 20 to 30 people at adoptions. What's the fucking word where children live who are up for adoption? It's a word. There's a word for it, and I can't figure it out. He would rather see children suffer than being adopted to loving parents, orphan house. That he would rather see them suffer in orphanages. Thank you, Socialist. Than actually be adopted into a loving home. That's his.
grew up literally being more depressed, also more likely to be on pills, even though that's white people.
This is a lie. No. I thought you were going to say they're more likely to be gay. There was one that said that kids raised by lesbian parents might have a higher likelihood of.
That was going to be
being
the last thing I said. But the depression rate is also true. It's not a lie, by the way.
No. The depression thing you're talking about was a 2012 study that was discredited and also taken. Excuse me.
Discredited by who?
It was discredited by the original author of the study and by the journal that published the study. So I don't know why you would bring that up. They were taking parents who were straight, had children, and then one of those parents came out as gay and left the family. Obviously, having a broken, split up family is going to be far worse for a child. Yes, of course. This does not prove that gay people raising kids is bad.
Which is because people have to hide themselves being gay, or had to hide being gay in the past. More so than today, at least. So they would marry into a straight relationship. I had a professor when I was studying college in Los Angeles, Santa Monica College, who was gay, but her mother forced her to be feminine, forced her to act straight. So she married a man, she had children, and then she realized, you know what? I am not happy here. I am gay AF. So she split up because she was forced into a straight relationship. And look how smug he is. Look here. Listen to what he said earlier. He said,
to it, irritated, and then I went to go look up his debates and found out quickly that he's your typical liberal that is emotional in the conversation. And most people will be like, I don't want to debate him. Said, let's do it.
And yeah, I'm sure.
No, he said something about.
Posted a tweet with my, and then he
okay, this has to be sped up. That's why he's so fucking slow.
Responded to it, irritated, and then instantly sent me a DM asking me to a debate on
he goaded you
his
into
YouTube
debate.
channel. I said, LOL, okay, when? And then I went to go look up his debates and found out quickly that he's your typical liberal that interrupts somebody every time they speak and just curses a lot and just calls you names because they're so emotional in the conversation. And most people will be like, I don't want to debate him, but me, I thought it would be entertaining. So I said, let's do it.
And yeah, I'm sure. I don't know if you know who I am. I know I mentioned to say
This habit of thinking they won debates,
There.
even if they didn't win any points and got all their points debunked.
All their points, it didn't get.
Thinking they won debates, even if they didn't win any points and got all.
Didn't win any points and got all their points debunked. Let's go back.
they were taking parents who were straight, had children, and then one of those parents came out as gay and left the family. Obviously, having a broken, split-up family is going to be far worse for a child. Yes, of course. This does not prove that gay people raising kids is bad. We have decades upon decades of peer-reviewed literature, and it all comes to the same conclusion, which is that gay people raising kids in a stable socioeconomic situation, those kids fare just as well, if not better, than kids raised by straight parents. And so the problem.
Let's see how he responds to this.
Like, this isn't a hypothetical. It's a very real part of the world right now. That there are over 100,000 kids who need to be adopted, who need families. Kids who are older and
of
disabled.
course, Vosh is trending.
Being raised in the foster care system is
As always.
incredibly detrimental.
More? Oh my god! Fine.
You want to talk about a higher likelihood of
Fine.
drugs or suicide or depression? Look at kids raised in the foster care system. You're saying kids should be deprived of having a family that loves them because some moral problem that you're, I guess, imagining? There's no evidence that they do worse morally. There's only evidence that they benefit from being raised by gay parents. So why are you really against this?
Can I respond now?
Yeah.
Okay. The first one, I
He could have interrupted him. It's fine. If Hunter Avallone makes a point, Bryson is all in his right to say, whoa. I want to respond to that point now.
you're going to be offended by, but that's fine.
But he doesn't because he's a cuck.
I believe the
got-
Constitution.
Did he really
Okay,
say?
the first one, obviously, you're going to be offended by, but that's fine.
Obviously going to be offended
I
by.
believe the Constitution was only written for moral religious people, and since I believe that homosexuals are inherently immoral, everybody in the LGBT are inherently immoral, then I don't believe the Constitution includes their rights anyway. Secondly, you said gay people raising kids isn't bad. Yeah, once again, I simply disagree. And also to that point, I would expect people that are more likely to be depressed already. That stuff will be learned on that. The kids will learn that also. So the fact that gay people are 25% more likely to be depressed, and
Okay,
I think
so the
transgender people are
dude's
like
just gonna.
40% more likely to be depressed
Yeah.
than normal people.
They are more likely to be depressed because people like you exist and tell them they are immoral. Like, imagine hearing your entire existence, which you can't change, makes you inherently immoral. You're telling me you're not going to be depressed after that? Really? Really? Okay, let's go back to this.
All their points debunked. It really started when we got to the conversation about gay people adopting. Let's get into it.
Gay people do tend to adopt at higher rates as compared to heterosexual people, which is to be expected since they can't have kids themselves. And this is a benefit for all of society.
You say gay people adopt at higher rates. Now, this is going to offend you, and it's fine. I think that should be illegal off the rail. I don't care if they adopt at higher rates. They shouldn't be able to adopt, period. That should be illegal.
Look at the benefits from gay people adopting. Do you know that kids who are adopted by gay people fare just as well as kids raised by straight parents?
We heard this.
Did you know that?
Oh, you actually asked me a question?
Yeah, I'm asking, did you know that kids who are adopted by gay parents do just as...
Am I speeding up? Yeah, I am. Sorry about that one. Blazev. Blazej. Blazev. Blazej.
as well, if not better. In
I hate your name, by the way. I'm sorry. I hate your name. It's come up with a pronounceable handle, please.
some circumstances compared to kids raised by straight parents.
Not morally, no.
So
Not morally,
what do you mean not
no.
morally?
Yeah,
Like
I
your
said before, if
morals.
you look up when gay people adopt those kids. There's multiple studies, and I mean we can question the validity of these studies. I wish I was at my house so I could pull these
I was just it was sped up, so that's why I called you out.
studies up, because at this point it's just me talking, and you can say I made them up, so that's cool.
No,
too.
I know what you're talking about. Go
Blaze,
ahead.
yeah,
Okay,
Blaze.
So like these kids grow up literally being more depressed.
I'll call
also
you Blaze.
More likely to be on
Thank
pills, even though that's white people.
This
are more
is a
likely to be
lie.
on- As you see there, he
Wait.
called be on pills. So like these kids grow up literally being more
Depression-related outcomes for children of different family structures. Depressed as an adolescent, opposite-sex parents, same-sex parents. Let's look this up. Depression, what's the related outcomes for children of different family structures. This is the... Can I find a source for this specifically? That's not the source. That's not the source. Maybe it says in the... Nope. Are hate graphs? Okay, I've never heard of that one. Can I search image? Stack Overflow? What? Why did you use this specifically? That's so random. But it doesn't seem to be anywhere else. This just seems to be completely unsourced. Kids of gay parents more depressed. Let's close this one. Delayed onset depression. Relationship of elevated depression risk recently discovered among adults, persons raised by same-sex parents with possible precipitating conditions in childhood has not previously been acknowledged. This study tests whether such inattention is supportable. Okay, so it just tests if it's supportable. Conclusion. The emergence of higher depression risk in early adulthood, coupled with more frequent history of abuse victimization, parental distance, and obesity, suggests that the inattention of research and policy to the problems of children with same-sex parents is unwarranted. As initial results, the present findings should be interpreted with caution and balance based on the limited evidence presented, and it is hoped neither exaggerated nor dismissed out of hand on preconceived ideological grounds. However, well-intended concerns for revealing negative information about a stigmatized minority does not justify leaving children without support in an environment that may be problematic or dangerous for their dignity and security. I'm guessing that this is due to gay people not really being included in why am I not doing that? In like or not being taken seriously in domestic abuse cases. Like lesbian couples apparently have the highest rate of domestic abuse. Domestic abuse in lesbian couples. Erasure of homosexuality in domestic violence shelters. Yeah. Domestic violence shelters are also provide heterocentric services for battered women, which further isolates battered lesbians and silences the pervasiveness of domestic violence in lesbian relationships. The predator of violence in an abusive relationship is often assumed to be male, while the victims of the violence is assumed to be straight. Exactly. So I'm guessing that has some effect on this. Guessing.
Depressed, also more likely to be on pills, even though that's white people.
This
are
is
more
a
likely to be
lie.
on- As you see there, he called the study that I referenced a lie. And if
Didn't
that
reference
wasn't
the study.
arrogant enough, he then discredited a study that he doesn't even know about. Watch this.
No, the depression thing you're talking about was a 2012 study that was discredited and also
By who?
taken. Excuse me?
Discredited by who?
It was discredited by the original author of the study and by the journal that published the study.
First, he said the study was done in 2012, which it wasn't. It was done in 2016, but that could have been an honest mistake. But he said it was discredited by the author himself. That is actually not accurate. Now, it was.
Did you say this in the video?
Then people are 24, 25% more kids, and that will be passed down to the kids. He said
Because
that the older a kid get in the family.
Wait, was that earlier even?
it was discredited by the original author of the study and by the journal that published the study. So I don't know why you would bring that up. They were taking parents who were straight, had children, and then one of those family raising kids is bad. We have decades upon decades of stable socioeconomic. So the problem is real adopted who foster care depression, that loving, those gay parents. So why are
The first one obviously going to be offended by, but that's fine. I believe the Constitution was only written moral, include that. Yeah, people that the kids will learn that also. Suppressed, and I think transgender people are like 40% more likely to be depressed. And once again, that's not to say all gay people are depressed or all trans people are depressed. I'm just talking about pure statistically speaking, they are more depressed than normal human beings. You said kids are waiting to be adopted, but I'm sure you know this, so I don't.
So he doesn't address. He doesn't.
No, the depression
Referenced a lie, and if that wasn't
He doesn't
arrogant
say
enough,
this
he
in the
then
actual debate.
Discredited a study that discredited by who?
it was discredited by the original author of the study and by the journal that published the study.
First, he said the study was done in 2012, which it wasn't. It was done in 2016, but that could have been an honest mistake. But he said it was discredited by the author himself. That is actually not accurate. Now, it was
Which
discredited
study?
by the people that published the journal because they went woke, and I can prove it right now. As you can see, the study was done by Hindawi, which is the
Hindawi? I've never heard of this. Open access publisher? Hindawi is a publisher of peer-reviewed open access scientific journals created and active in scientific, technical, and medical literature. Cairo, Egypt. You think Cairo, Egypt is going to go woke?
which is a depression research and treatment center, and they do a lot of studies like this. And let's see what they said.
Wait.
On behalf, as you can see, the study was done by Hindawi, which is a depression research and treatment center.
No. It's a publisher of peer-reviewed open access scientific journals. What are you talking about? This is probably the field.
and they do a lot of studies like this. And let's see what they said. On behalf of the Hindawi Limited, the publisher of Depression and Research Treatment, we would like to express our concern with the article, and then it names the title of the article. And it says, this article has been cited to support arguments about same-sex marriage that Hindawi believes to be hateful and wrong. These arguments do not represent the views of Hindawi or but
Hey, Melo, what did I find out? What do you mean?
no, the author actually didn't think there was anything wrong with this.
Okay, Hindawi, let's see here. What is the... Hindawi expression of concern on invisible victims. Oops. That's not the same. Fact-check derogatory poster show misleading statistics about children with same-sex parents. Shut up. This story links to content some readers may find offensive. A poster that appears to have originated on a neo-Nazi website presents misleading statistics about children who have same-sex parents, citing research that has since been called into question. Let's see here. Facebook, of course. Let's see. 92% of children raised by gay parents are abused. 51. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, that's from the same study. Invisible victims. Invisible victims. Nothing else. The text of the poster. Some versions of the poster also include the derogatory word for gay community. Some posts include the URL ironmarch.org. Ironmarch.org. Described by the Anti-Defamation League as a now defunct white supremacist discussion forum. Okay, I'm not gonna. Do I want to go there? Okay, let's venture onward and see what happens. Okay, not secure, not happening. An archived page of the website, okay, shows that a user published the poster on March 4th, 2017 with the text, I got some new hate facts here, fresh off the press. Should I be putting ironmarch.org on these? I've been debating the idea since the first one I made. Yeah, so we'll start off on a neo-Nazi hate site. The research article cited by the post was published in the journal Depression Research and Treatment on May 29, 2016 here, but has since been called into question by other scientists and by the journal's publisher. Publisher Hindawi Limited added an expression of concern to the paper in 2017 after receiving complaints about its methodology and about potential bias by the author. Okay. Methodology, data methods. All right, let's continue. This seems to be a good. Everything I researched, the next paragraph talks about it. So let's continue. Let's keep this in the bank. The published notice lists flaws in the article. Point out that the researcher in letter out by other researchers in letters to the editor, including this small sample of same-sex parents, the lack of discussion and other no discussion. There's a discussion here. Okay. Where was I? The lack of discussion of other influences, such as family breakup on the well-being of the children included in the study, the implied causation in the title Invisible Victims, and the potential conflict of interest implied by the author's position as a Catholic priest. Yeah, that's going to be some invisible victims right there. The notice also flagged the journal's concern about the paper being used to support hate speech. The article has been cited to support arguments about same-sex marriage that Hindawi believes to be hateful and wrong. These arguments do not represent the views of Hindawi or staff or the editorial board of Depression Research and Treatment. We strongly condemn any attempt to justify hate speech or bigotry through reference to the scholarly record. One of the letters received by the journal is reprinted alongside the original article. Dr. Nathaniel Frank, an author and director of the What We Know project, then based at Columbia Law School, wrote that to support Sullin's conclusions, the study would need to compare same-sex and different sex-headed households in which it is known that no family disruptions occurred, or that the same level of such disruptions occurred in each group. Instead, he draws sweeping outlier conclusions. Where's the end of the that can only be reached by the fudging the way gay or lesbian-headed households are discussed and compared to households headed by heterosexuals. Frank, now at the Center of Study for Inequality at Cornell University, continued. The article conflation of household stability with parents gender fatally mars his conclusions, which are much more damning of gay and lesbian parenting than are warranted by his data. In 2018, the Southern Poverty Law Center denounced the study as pseudoscience. Philip N. Cohen, professor of sociology at the University of Maryland College Park, has criticized 3 other studies by Sullins in a blog post here, writing that Sullin's judgment is no doubt clouded by his overarching religious objections of homosexuality. Sullins told Reuters via email, "I have no responsibility for that offensive poster. That's true. Had no knowledge of it before it first appeared, and I repudiate its lurid graphics and use of pejorative epithets. I must acknowledge that the statistics of the poster are accurately cited. Yeah, from a wrong study, though, or a study that is wrong. And he stood by his original results. The point of the study is that while harm outcomes for such children may be small to non-existent, while they are still in early adolescence, by the time they reach early adulthood, some harm outcomes, not all, increase dramatically. Still, he told Reuters, such findings should not, in my opinion, prompt unjust discrimination or pejorative stigma. So the author does not agree with Bryson on what to do with the facts or the findings in the study. Sullins also pointed to his study's conclusion, which states the present findings should be interpreted with caution and balance based on limited evidence presented, and, it is hoped, neither exaggerated or dismissed out of hand on preconceived ideological grounds. That's what we saw earlier. So the author does not agree with Bryson.
Hindawi, which is a
by the way, before we go continue, we should just make sure. Conclusion: the emergence of higher depression risk in early adulthood. Why do I have trouble with that word? Early adulthood, coupled with a more frequent history of abuse, victimization, parental distance, and obesity, suggested that inattention of research and policy of the problem of children with same-sex parents are unwarranted. As initial results, the parents' findings should be interpreted with caution and balance based on limited evidence. We read this earlier, didn't we? It feels familiar.
Depression Research and Treatment Center, and they do a lot of studies of depression and research treatment. The article has been cited to support arguments about same-sex marriage that Hindawi believes to be hateful and wrong. These arguments do not represent the...
Remember, guys, it's the liberals who are emotional. Can I just add a no? Can I add a window capture? Here we go. Okay. I just want it's not the window I want. I want a okay, let's do this. Remember, guys. He's not emotional. Remember that. He is not emotional. That's for liberal cucks to be, okay? He is not an emotional boy. You're wrong if you say he's emotional.
Views of Hindawi are... But no, the author actually didn't think there was anything wrong with the study. And
Yes,
that's
he
why the
did.
study
Oh, no,
is still published
he doesn't.
to this day. It was not debunked. They just viewed it as hateful because people used it to probably beat people like Hunter in arguments.
No. No. They thought it was hateful because it was used by a hate organization or hate group called neo-fucking-Nazis. You moron.
Respond now?
Yeah.
Okay. The first one, obviously, going to be offended by, but that's fine. I believe the Constitution was only written for more religious people. And here in this section of the argument, I tell him that the Constitution was written only for moral and religious people.
Which is stupid.
And if you don't know why I said that, then you're soon about to find out. But first, watch his response.
Okay, sure. So I would ask for the sake of consistency that you please stop pretending to be pro-America at all, because you are like completely anti-America. Everything that America stands on, you are against. You're like an authoritarian who's against America right here. When you say the Constitution is only for moral people, this is a joke.
Now, the reason I said that is because I noticed that he was loud, arrogant, and wrong. So I used his arrogance to my advantage, and I said something that was a quote from one of the founding fathers, John Adams, in his letter to the Massachusetts militia, where he says what I told him verbatim. And he...
Wait. Our Constitution was made only for moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other. Yeah. One person wrote one time that it was only for moral and religious people. One person, one time. How many are the founding fathers? Founding fathers. Out of all these, one fucking person, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's not even 10% of the people. It's 7 point, no, what is it? Whatever. It's so
and he
fucking
just claimed that because of what I said, that I was anti-American and against the Constitution.
Yeah.
Which would
also, did you say this?
Don't even have to.
Did I?
Only for moral people,
Families,
children like that.
Are
Ask for the sake of consistency that you please stop pretending to be pro-America at all. Stands on, you are against. You're like an
Does he respond to this? Wait, let's.
This is a joke.
Now, the reason I said that is because founding fathers John Adams, in his letter to the Massachusetts militia, where he says what I told him, American and against the Constitution, which would kind of be oxymoronic since I quoted.
Did he say oxymoronic?
Against the Constitution, which would kind of be oxymoronic since I quoted,
oxy.
One of the authors of the Constitution.
One of them.
What?
I think that he it's just a pronunciation thing.
That's what happens when he finds out. So just to be clear, what I said is not a personal opinion. It's something one of the founding fathers, John Adams, said.
What did John Adams say?
He said that the Constitution was written only for moral and religious people. It was in his letter to the Massachusetts militia. This is what happens when you're loud, arrogant, and simply
we're not going to get his
you're
response.
Not knowledgeable about history or even the topic at hand. And these are just two of the topics. I will post more videos showing you how silly his art.
Who's against America. America specifically fire.
So that's why he's so fucking smug here.
Because they've been inspired by their own religion.
I want to hear
like what
he said that the Constitution was written only for moral and religious people.
And how does Hunter Avallone respond? I want to hear him say, fuck him. Fuck Adams. Fuck him. I don't care. Fuck him. So his point is that if you are immoral, the law does not apply to you, huh? That's true. True, Blaze. Thank you. If you're immoral, if you're gay, you can just go, fuck the law. I don't care. It's not for me. It's not written for me. It's written for you, you fucking cuck.
To the Massachusetts
Anarchism, gay anarchism.
Okay, so he may have had his own personal opinions, and that's fine, but that's not what's spelled out in the actual law or in the actual Constitution. There's a separation of church and state. So sure, I'm sure some of the people that originally wrote the Constitution had their own backwards ideas. That's not really very surprising. However, that is not what's spelled out in the actual Constitution. So for you to say that it's only for moral people, that is against the Constitution. And so I want you to answer me. If somebody does drugs, does that mean that they are not allowed or that they've lost their freedom of speech?
If somebody is like actively a drug addict, then
Yeah.
I mean, just naturally speaking, a lot of times they can't even control themselves, and a lot of them end up homeless, and a lot of them end up needing help.
I'm not asking about that. I'm asking if somebody is shooting up heroin, do they lose their right to freedom of speech?
Hey, Hunter, you're so aggressive. Relax.
I'm
bud.
being
We gotta
aggressive when I am
follow.
confronted by
This is aggressive. This is aggressive. Oh my god! Imagine the limp-wristed mentality of this Bryson Gray. Is it Bryson Grayson? I hate that. Bryson Gray. Imagine the limp-wristed mentality of Bryson Gray when this is aggression to him.
that. I'm asking if somebody is shooting up heroin, do they lose their right to freedom of speech?
That's aggression. Hey, I that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking about this thing. Hey! Why the aggression?
Hunter, you're so aggressive. Relax.
I'm
bud.
being
We gotta
aggressive when I am
follow.
confronted by just stupidity. So I'm trying to get you to answer the question, and you're
Well, it was
pivoting all over the place.
It seemed to be stupidity, but the people that wrote the Constitution said the same thing, and you didn't know that. So that's kind of
No,
funny.
I did
One
know that,
person.
but I'm not really that concerned by
Come
the
on,
personal opinions of
bro.
one of the authors
If
of the
we-
Constitution as opposed
bro,
to
we
what's
don't- if
spelled
we-
out in the law.
Yeah.
So I
Bro, if I
would
don't-
like
if
you
I
to
don't-
answer my question, please. I've asked you
if
now
I-
3 times. If somebody is
So-
shooting up heroin, does that now give the government a right to restrict their freedom of speech?
So if somebody's an active drug addict, it's argued like are they immoral or are they struggling with something? Like perfect example. If somebody is gay and they're proud of them being gay,
Yeah.
are they struggling with it? If somebody's struggling with it, then I believe that is a different case. But if somebody has pride in being immoral, like this is they're choosing, like they're wanting, they seek out to be immoral.
Get to the
or
fucking
they're not
point.
religious, so I would say atheists also. Yeah, the Constitution is not written for those people. So,
Okay, so if somebody is proud to be a heroin addict, they love
Correct.
fucking heroin, they love shooting it up,
He's
they
not answering.
have now
No.
lost their rights to freedom of speech.
what they do, if they get caught with heroin, what will happen?
Wait, it's a American right that they're put before a trial and then they get sentenced
And then
based
what?
on there.
And
Then they would
and then
probably
they're-
go to jail if they're breaking
And
the
then
law.
what happens when you go to jail? You lose. What do you lose?
Hold
you
on.
lose your constitutional rights.
No,
in jail.
you're weaseling right now, very, very
Oh
badly.
no, I'm
Yeah.
not. This is
Yes,
Don't
you are.
lose your
I've been
constitutional
telling this whole
rights going
time.
to prison. Sure, you won't have as big of a platform to speak. However, if we're talking about somebody who's out in public or out in society and it's known that they are a drug addict,
Unfortunately, yeah, Hunter did take the bait of focusing on drug addicts instead of gay people, which is not illegal, or non-religious people. Just he should have gone for the less contentious option here.
you're saying that that now gives the government a right to restrict their freedom of speech. They could, let's say they're doing heroin, okay? And then they go out and they say, you know what? I'm not really a big fan of President Joe Biden. Well, why can't President Joe Biden now get this person arrested? Because according to you, he no longer has constitutional rights to free speech or to criticize the government or freedom of expression because he's immoral.
So just to be clear, the only reason this person is allowed free speech because he just simply hasn't been caught. Again, like I said before, I wasn't weaseling. I've had these conversations before. I've heard the same arguments before, and I'm giving the same responses I've given.
You have freedom of speech if you're in prison still.
Yeah.
You're in a federal prison? Yeah. You're not answering my question, dude. Do you think
You just
Joe
don't
Biden
like-
could lock somebody up for saying he's a shit president if that person is
Mhm.
also a drug addict?
So if you let me finish. So I have the same conversations all the time, the same arguments all the time. Okay. So if somebody gets caught with heroin, smoking it, or selling it, that person would then lose their constitutional rights if they're called by the police, because in prison you do not have free speech, because you cannot even say what you want to say.
You have free speech.
Anybody. So
Yes,
that's just not true. You literally lose your constitutional rights in prison. That's the whole point of being in prison.
Getting imprisoned, though, the process by which you would be put in.
You shouldn't lose your constitutional rights in prison. You should lose some, I guess, freedom of movement, stuff like that. But you shouldn't lose all constitutional rights. Yeah. I mean, this is how he presents it in Bryson.
He said that the Constitution
Bryson,
only
you're weaseling in your own fucking video.
Massachusetts militia.
You
This
fucking
is what happens when
moron.
You're loud, arrogant, and simply wrong, and you're not knowledgeable about history or even the topic at hand. He gets very triggered.
When I am confronted by just stupidity. So I'm trying to get you to answer the question, and you're
Well,
pivoting all over the place.
It seemed to be stupidity, but the people that wrote the Constitution said the same thing, and you didn't know that. So that's
No,
kind of funny.
not the people. Oh my God, that's it. Not the people who wrote the Constitution. One person of the people who wrote the Constitution. One person in one letter. That's all. Notice, it didn't get into the Constitution that you had to be religious and moral. That's not in the Constitution for a reason.
In prison is still is an American right. The way that it's perceived innocent until proven guilty. So let's back off then the drug thing if you're going to keep going back to the weasel answer there. Maybe somebody loves having an affair, okay? They love having an affair. They're cheating on their wife. That's not
Thank
illegal,
you, Hunter,
so they can't go to jail for it. But they're being immoral.
Switching
if this
the
person
top,
goes out and says, Joe
example.
Biden fucking sucks, should Joe Biden have the right to then lock that person up for their speech because they no longer have their right to freedom of speech for living immoral?
Yeah. So adultery is definitely illegal in 21 states and should be illegal in all 50 states. So that person is immoral.
You're
and
such a weasel.
Yeah, that's so
you're weaseling so bad
weaselly.
right now. Why don't you just answer the question, dude?
Bro, you said a wrong statement. I have to correct you first. You don't like correction?
Okay, let's assume then that it's in the state where it's not illegal, okay? I'm trying to get you to actually answer the real question. You keep pivoting.
No, I am answering the question. I don't think.
No, you're not.
Let me help you. First off, you were wrong, and you should be still corrected. And my point was adultery should be illegal in all 50 states, and I like biblical law. So yeah, their rights will be taken away too.
Okay, so if they're in a state where it's legal still for them to have an affair, and then they go out and say Joe Biden sucks, you think it's acceptable for Joe Biden to arrest that person because they no longer have freedom of speech because they're living immorally?
What I'm saying is the law should be changed, so it should be illegal.
You said it's you said the Constitution only applies to immoral people. I'm giving you an answer of somebody who's living immorally, but not illegally because they're in a state where it's still legal. Should the government be able to lock this person up because according to you, they should not have their constitutional rights because they're immoral?
So I don't know if you understand the history of laws in this country. Adultery was illegal in all 50 states, just like homosexuality, and sodomy was illegal in all 50 states.
Okay.
Before the 60s. So I think what I'm saying is we need to go back to, I would rather.
Wait. Guess what else was illegal in the 60s? Guess what else? Jim Crow. When were they abolished? No, not Jim Crow laws. There. Oh, yep. While the Warren Court continued to rule against Jim Crow legislation in other cases, such as in general, the remaining Jim Crow laws were overruled by the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. This dude, being black, would be immoral back then. You fucking moron!
To go back to these like moral laws we had in place. That was based on scripture. Also, he said I'm anti-America, which is so interesting when you secular people say that. Like literally all of y'all would have been disgusting to every single founding fathers. You know the thing people say all the founding fathers were, they all were these. No, that's cap. They all got baptized. They all was Christian. They all believed in Jesus.
And
this is all based on their
Christian people can still be good people. Christian people can still be create secular societies.
Own writings themselves.
So you want like a biblical Sharia. So you're basically just a Sharia law
like a
Muslim, but
theocracy?
Christian version.
You
This
mean
is you
like
right
a
now.
theocracy? You asking if I support a theocracy?
Pretty much, yeah.
Thanks for asking. Yes, theocracies.
Okay, so Christian Sharia. Thank you. I would like to
Wait,
stop
wait, wait.
moving all over the place, please,
Why
and
cannot?
instead back up to you answering the question that you
I
still
already
haven't
answered your
answered.
question. You just don't like my. I already answered.
No, no, no.
Clear-cut
You
answer.
said, well, the laws should change back to the 60s. That's not what you said before. You
Yes,
said
I
that the
said basically-
Constitution doesn't apply to people unless they are immoral people.
Why
Should
did I
that
say
person lose their right to freedom of speech if they are
Wait,
living
wait.
immorally?
No, I'm confused. Why did I say the Constitution is written only for more religious people?
Because
Yeah,
you were
exactly.
trying to
They-
somehow
exactly.
exclude gay people from all of this.
No. Comprehension. No, sir. The reason I said that is because that was what the founding fathers said, and I
No,
use
no,
the
no.
founding fathers
That was
because the
one
most important
dude.
book by the founding fathers was the Bible. The Constitution is based on their
was
on
it,
their
Adam
beliefs
Smith?
in God. So what I'm saying is we should go back to the when they wrote the Constitution. Like you keep talking about the
Wait! Hunter! Hunter! What am I looking at here? Oh no! Oh, Hunter, you lost the game. You lost it. What the fuck is this? You're using Edge? Hunter! 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 What the fuck? There are... Like, I use Chrome. I know. You shouldn't use Chrome either. I won't encourage people to use Chrome. But I will actively discourage people from using Edge. Of all... There's only like, what, 2 worse web browsers? Opera and Explorer. Edge! Edge!
Constitution. I'm anti-American. When the Constitution was written, bro, including the Bill of Rights, this stuff was illegal.
Like Prime
It
GX? I
doesn't
don't know what
matter.
that is.
The Constitution
What
has
I'm saying is
changed. That's
these
why it was
people-
written as a breathing, living document. I'm sure you've heard that before.
Yeah,
Because it can change and accommodate for new people
yeah.
and their rights as well. And
Okay,
plus, hold on, the fact that you would say most liberals would be disgusting to the founding fathers. I'm sorry, I think the founding fathers
Thank
would
you.
probably be
Thank you,
fucking
Hunter.
disgusting towards you, my dude. They would probably be
true.
trying to lock you up. Like,
Yeah.
give me a fucking
That is not
break.
true.
So I want to go back because every time you keep on pivoting from this.
I'm
If
not
somebody
pivoting.
is
I've already
having an
answered the
affair,
question.
they're in a state where it's legal.
Mhm.
Does Joe Biden have the right to lock that person in prison for slandering the president? Because according to you, they are not moral, so they should
Mhm.
not have their constitutional rights. Just
No,
give me a
because
yes or
the
no
laws are
answer
wrong.
already. Stop weaseling.
I mean, I've already answered, but you don't like listening.
Oh, okay, okay.
I don't understand you at all.
I'll look
But
it up. Thanks,
Since
Social.
the laws are incorrect in that state, then obviously by law that can't happen. So per how they trying to interpret the Constitution, because when the Supreme Court got the right to interpret the Constitution how they wanted to, that was the downfall of this country. The start of the beginning of the downfall of this society.
Now that might be true.
Outside of that, if
In
something
some
like adultery
respects.
is not illegal in your state, which is pitiful and wasn't like that when the Constitution was written, then obviously Joe Biden should not be able to throw this person in jail because the people got the wrong laws. So what I'm saying again, like I said, like 3 times, I don't know if you don't like it. I don't know if you don't know his history. I don't understand what you're trying to say. But the law should be fixed, and then they would be in jail, and all of these. This would be a beautiful life.
Okay, got it. So it is
This
only
would
for
be a beautiful
immoral
life.
people then if that morality is first reflected by the laws. So that's what it sounds like you're saying.
Yeah, that's what it should be. I like theocracies. And just to be clear, you said something. So
I like
incorrect earlier.
theocracies.
First off, once again we say it's anti-America. That's just you're calling the founding fathers alone anti-American, which is weird because they try to like use the Constitution to support your argument. It's a very weird thing. But when you say America was founded as a secular nation, once again this is just historically inaccurate. People get confused about what the American Revolution was. Yes, it was about taxes, but it also was in part a religious war. He is right. They wanted to get from under.
Oh, okay, Social. Prime GX is the gaming browser. I remember this. The Opera gaming browser. If it's RAM, I don't know. Gaming browser. Get an unparalleled gaming and browsing experience with Discord, Twitch, sidebar integration, and built-in limiters for CPU, RAM, and network usage. Okay. Maybe. I don't know.
the Church of England, but if you look at the first 13
Just buy more.
colonies,
Just download more RAM.
most
It's
of them
no
had
big deal.
established state churches. Matter of fact, if you continue going through history, even after the Bill of the first 13 colonies, most of them had established state churches.
Yeah, because they were English
matter
colonies.
Of fact, if you continue going through history, even after the Bill of Rights, when they stopped established state churches, if you were of specific religions, you could still be kicked out of states. Prime example,
Do you think
Joseph
that's
Smith,
a good thing?
Joseph Smith and the Mormons. So
You don't support the Constitution. So you think if people are immoral that they don't have their constitutional rights. You think the law should reflect the biblical morals, which is just Christian Sharia. And you think that if somebody isn't a fucking Christian, that they should be able to be deported from the country. What happened to freedom of speech and freedom of religion?
Yeah, I don't. Once again, Mormons view them.
It's super customizable. Okay, I'll look into
why
it.
this is so hard.
I remember when it came out and I laughed at it as a gaming browser. I'll look into it. I'm not gonna judge anymore. Maybe it's got an improvement. Maybe I misunderstood the usage of it from the beginning, but it's okay.
Hard. So
it's
Mormons
really hard when you're saying like things that are so laughably stupid.
It's like gaming chairs. I have a gaming chair. I hate having a gaming chair. Actually, it's cringe. It's embarrassing.
And also super.
No, they're actually historically accurate. You're just I don't know if you're
really. Then how come I'm
angry
reading
or
right
both.
here? It was the recognition of that divisive past by the founder, notably Washington, Jefferson, Adams, and Madison, that secured America as a secular republic. As President Washington wrote, all possess alike liberty of conscience and immunity of citizenship. America's true history. Smithsonian Magazine.
So like I said, everybody look this up. You can Google it. It doesn't really matter. If you look at when this country was founded again, oh my goodness. Out of 13 colonies, I think all but like 3 had established state churches. So if this was meant to be a secular nation, how could that be true? Of course, that sounds idiot.
Wait, because there were colonies of England, an explicitly Christian nation.
No,
they can have a church, but I'm reading right here. The United States of America was the first explicitly secular nation in Western history.
Can we use simple logic? Would a secular nation have established churches and states?
I don't know, and it doesn't matter, because now you're saying that people should be kicked out if they're not following the certain religion that you would prefer.
That's not what I said. Once again,
yes, it is.
All right, let me hear it again. What did you say?
I said Joseph Smith. As a Mormon, if you go look up the history of Mormonism, this is why learning history is important.
Was dumb.
We look at the history of Joseph Smith. He was kicked. Him and his followers were kicked out of multiple states because people didn't like the religion they was trying to.
And you said that was okay.
With the version of Christianity they was trying to support and spread.
And you said you were okay with that, correct?
The reason I said it's okay because if you look at, even though after the Bill of Rights you couldn't technically have an established church, these established churches were funded by the federal government well into the late 1800s. And after that, even though it wasn't an established church on paper, you can look at the history and see that each church had basically, not unofficial established churches. And the reason I say that's okay because when people live amongst people they have similar values, usually have more people.
Okay, I'm done with this guy. It's over. It's all over. Bryson Gray, the dumb fuck, would rather live as a slave in a Christian explicitly theocratic Christian nation. He would rather live as a slave in that nation than as a free man in a secular nation. That's how fucking dumb he is. Holy shit.